I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the community. As long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I'm Victor Reyes, a junior at Cathedral High School and a student in Speech 1321, and it is because I am filled with the same conviction as the sentiment expressed by the wise Mark Twain in this quote that I believe that the economic development efforts within the United States community ought to prioritize the building of wealth and economic capacities over the economic belief of profit maximization. The supreme value that one must adopt in order to preserve the success and integrity of our community must be that of altruism. This entails the selfless sacrifice for the wealth of the community. Once the basic needs of a business or an individual have been met, it is their obligation to help out not only their fellow man, but more importantly, their fellow community. A community cannot be successful with the wealth of one individual. However, it can only be successful when the decisive majority of a community is successful. The only way this ultimate value can be achieved is through an adherence to strong traditional values. The only thing profit maximization succeeds at is corrupting the morals and belief of our nation's communities. Within each individual culture, there exist certain values, which supercode others. Chief amongst these are the communal values, sometimes regionally referred to as la comunidad, and family values, regionally known as the value of la familia. Instead of embracing the capitalist views of mainstream, imperialist America, we must adhere to the true communal ideology. And by rejecting the corporate greed, we only develop the community into a positive and successful environment. Today, I will address 3 specific arguments showing why profit maximization not only harms the community, but destructs the foundation of economic capacities for future generations. My first argument is that adhering to capitalistic rhetoric of profit maximization will devastate the community. By the United States, individuals focusing on their profit instead of the community, devastating effects will rip apart the community at its seams. According to a study done by Boston University in 2005 entitled "The Intrinsic Flaws Within Capitalism," many common issues arose when a company used a business strategy focusing on profit. Lower wages are paid to the employees, and a stronger focus on replacing unnecessary individuals with advanced technological equipment also became a concern, which vicariously threatened the safe working environment that all people are entitled to. The obvious harms are the deterioration of a healthy job market, workers' rights, and overall stagnant development efforts of the community. We can see that this mainstream belief is not in the best interest of the community, only going to stress the importance of building of wealth and economic capacities through altruism. One may believe that those people at the top of the social hierarchy benefit. However, in profit maximization does nothing more than correct the delicate job market that we all are beneficiaries of. A primary problem within capitalism is the fact that it mandates winners and losers. That is only further harmed by the principles of profit maximization. We must first go on to help the community grow so that we can have a developed infrastructure that does not have a threat of crumbling under the strain of current economic situations facing our country. Moving on to my second point, which is that the United States civic organizations can be the most effective way to aid when profit maximization is rejected, and this provides an opportunity for both of them to grow. There comes a point in time when we must realize that if we want economic success, we cannot rely on others. Rather, we must do it ourselves. One person who realized this was Ernesto Nieto when he created the National Hispanic Institute. By adhering to his Latino ideals and endorsing a sense of altruism, he was able to enhance the Latino community. Rather than focusing on profits and monetary funds, he prioritized the building of wealth and economic capacities by helping the Latinos on a grassroots level. Diving into my third and final argument, this is that the building of wealth and economic capacities must be prioritized in order to enhance the community. Within society, there exists a direct correlation with the increase of a community's economic stability and the benevolence of the community's constituents. As history has shown us, we must give precedence to the community, and this can be done with great success. An article compiled by Time magazine on Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, states, "In 1905, When there were 50 startup companies a year trying to get into the auto business, his backers at the new Ford company were insisting that the best way to maximize profits was to build a car for the rich. But Ford thought that the guys who made the car ought to be able to afford ones themselves, so that they could go on a spin on Sunday afternoon, going against the opinion of his backers. This proved to be only the first smart move in a crusade that would make him the father of the 20th century automobile industry. Similarly, the Dell Corporation has set up hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to help minorities across America. Benevolence like this helps a community by increasing the wealth and economic capacities and has helped the economic development efforts. If a business would take the next step and actually prioritize these types of giving, the progression of the community would be limitless. The ongoing relevance of economics to day cannot be overestimated. Profit maximization is the effect of capitalism on loose morals of a population. By attempting to expand one's wealth, in the affected populations are thrown into an unfortunate condition which their economic visibility is harmed and often irreconcilably pushed into the corner. There is no true sense of morality where economic growth is valued over the collective. The economy can only thrive when all are actively engaged. Profit maximization impedes social growth and gives a fake sense of social growth by emphasizing the growth of the rich without the growth of the population as a whole. It is our community which we live, our values which are being corrupted every day, and it is also our choice on whether or not to act on something that is wrong on all playing fields. One only needs to look to the poor quality of living experienced by people who make their living and their income they get from working at a maquiladora. The wise Mark Twain also stated that he thoroughly disapproved of duels. If a man should challenge him, he would take him kindly and forgivingly by the hand, and lead him into a quiet place, and then he would proceed to kill him. In this same way, we should not harness a competition between profit maximization and the building of wealth and economic capacities in our community, but rather discard these economic principles of profit maximization. Thank you for your time. This has been The Dreads of Profit Maximization.